how to use the flip chart. And okay, so you will see these are the values of Neolife, and they are lovely values, but they're not so important to explain to people right at the beginning. So I usually skip this page and go straight to page 3. And why is this important? It's important because people need to know that we've been around, Neolife has been around for 60 years. So it's not something that's new, that's just come up and we're trying to sell something. We have been around for 60 years and we are operating in 50 countries. Okay, and that's quite important. So we're just one of the countries. But it actually started in America. That's where the product started shipping from. And only recently has it come mainly to Africa. But you can also see it's in Australia and New Zealand, also Japan, and a little bit in the Asian regions. Then again, I really don't worry so much about this page, but I go to this page, page 5. Why? Because I want people to know about Dr. Arthur first. Now, you know and I know that he was a leading toxicologist. So he was involved in cancer research. In fact, he was the person who invented oral chemotherapy. And he realized that he couldn't save people from cancer with chemotherapy. He needed to prevent the cancer before it started in people. So he decided to join with Neolife, but he said, no way am I joining with you unless you have a board of scientists that will do research and publish papers. And because of him, we have a scientific advisory board. You can see that. Scientific advisory board. And these people are at the top of the game. They are constantly putting things, publishing papers in medical journals. So they're not just researchers, they are active researchers, and they are the ones who develop our products. So again, our products are not made in the backyard or boiled up in our kitchen. They are made by scientists who have actually made an artificial stomach to see what will happen to this product if it goes through your stomach, and they check it out and they make sure that it digests quickly and easily and the body is able to absorb it. So they know exactly what that product is going to do in your body. Right. You can come to this page. It's interesting because we've got so much science, we've got so much technology, we've got access to medication. So why are people still getting so sick? And mainly it's because of lifestyle. We're eating bad foods. The good foods that we are eating are no longer that good anymore because they are shipped from other countries. Then they stay in those big containers at the docks for months and months. Then they still get shipped on a truck to the grocery store. They put in cold storage to make them last longer. They're sprayed with insecticides and fungicides and herbicides, and we don't get anything good from them, basically. It's not like it used to be, where you used to grow it in your backyard or in your fields, pick it yourself, and you wouldn't be spraying terrible chemicals on it or using chemical fertilizers instead of good manure and crop rotation to make sure that the plants were getting the good nutrients they needed. So we explain to people this pyramid, that this is what we are supposed to do. We're supposed to get lots of physical activity and watch our weight. We're supposed to mainly eat whole grains. So whole grain rice, whole grain oats, whole grain soya, whole grain wheat. But we don't. We refine it until it's white. So we take everything good out of it. And if you think about it, that piece of rice was probably grown in one of the Asian countries like Thailand. Most of South Africa's rice is shipped from Thailand. It was then taken to the factory, stripped of everything good, put in a plastic bag, put on a big truck, put on a container ship, shipped to our places where it's sprayed with fungicides to make sure that we don't get any of the insects and fungi and other things from Thailand. Then it's still put on the truck. Then it still comes to Pick and Pay or Checkers or whatever. And then we still have it in our pantry for months and months and months, and it never goes bad because it doesn't have anything to go bad with. We don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. And even if we did, as I've just explained, the quality of fruit and vegetables don't give us enough nutrients anymore. We don't have good protein anymore. Again, people are feeding their chickens terrible things. It's not free range usually anymore. And they're pumped full of steroids and full of water. So our protein quality is not good anymore. Can also talk about how if you want to get the best protein, you would need to eat the whole chicken, including the beak and the comb and the legs. Or if you're not a chicken person, if you prefer eggs, you would need to eat the whole egg, including the shell, to get enough protein, good protein for your body. And then we're supposed to be responsible about our fats and sugars, but we are not. We crave fats and sugars. There's nothing like a packet of hot chips. Everybody loves that. So what we really do, and especially with COVID, is that we don't exercise enough. We're too busy. We don't eat whole grains. We don't even know what they are anymore. We don't have enough fruits and vegetables. You're supposed to have between 12 and 14 different types of vegetables every day, which is impossible. And you would be eating the whole day and you would not have money for anything else. We're supposed to get good protein, but we don't. We get bad protein. And I just need to tell you that McDonald's burgers is one of the most terrible proteins. So that doesn't even count as protein. We love our fats and sugars. We love a fat cake or a fat cook or a donut or a cake or hot chips or a bunny chow, or a Big Five. Those things are the things we go for. And the thing is, every cell in our body is dependent on this membrane getting the good stuff that we eat in, making energy, and then taking the bad stuff out. And that little cell cannot do its work unless it gets whole grains, because the whole grain oils are what makes that little membrane healthy. So since we aren't eating enough whole grains, we have unhealthy cells, which means that the good stuff we're eating can barely get in, and the bad stuff is just piling up inside that cell. And when you have one bad cell, it makes two bad cells. When you have two bad cells, it makes four bad cells. And these bad cells are what lead to lifestyle diseases. And you don't even notice it until suddenly you go to the clinic and someone says, "Oh, your blood pressure is a bit high, hey?" Or "You must watch your sugar," or "You're a little bit overweight." And that's when you suddenly realize something's not right. My body's not doing something right. And it's just because the cells are not getting the whole grains. So that is why we really want to make sure that everybody in South Africa at least gets a tree and N into their home. Why tree and N? Because tree and N is the grain concentrates, the whole grains. It gives you the oils that will give this cell what it needs to get whatever healthy stuff you eat in, make energy, and then take the bad stuff out. And if you just have tree and N, the nutrition that you eat goes up by 50%.